Okay, another issue that I want to bring up is the United States Congress. One of the things they have done recently, after during their before they break, and was that they passed retroactive immunity for these telecommunication companies. Yes, these telecommunication companies that have been listening in to conversations of quote-unquote people that they identified that are terrorists, conversations that are being made coming into the country from outside. But that's to the extent that we do know. Other people have filed suit to find out what is the extent of the other program. There is another program that people have become aware of, where it's actually sifting calls and keywords of things that me and you are saying, and they've been gathering this information for a while. And so the President Bush stated that without this, the United States would be hindered in capturing terrorists. And I said, well, I think that's very interesting, because the idea to be able to freely talk on your phone to anyone at any time, I think is protected underneath the law. So these companies are saying that they will go bankrupt due to the multiple lawsuits that are out there, and that they can't function without this protection. The United States says, well, our public security will be hindered. And so the Senate went along with this, and they voted in favor of retroactive immunity for these corporations and stuff, which they knew they were doing this. They knew it was against the law. Yeah, they were complying with the government, but the government was wrong, and two wrongs don't make a right. And it always seems that when it comes to push, comes to shove, it's always minding your rights that gets flushed down the toilet, while the rights of these corporations to protect themselves is the one that the government looks out for. So, I don't know how people feel about this particular issue. Don't forget to go to www.youtube.com/BMSTV to my page, to register, to post comments about issues and things we talked about, and to see footage of things that we don't post or we don't show on air. Okay? So, also, the other thing is that now President Bush, with all of these banks going under, has decided that he's going to vote for the relief package for the everyday citizen, for the people that were losing their homes. Of course, what Congress did is they took that bill and they attached both of them together. So it would force the president to vote for both of these issues. But it seemed to me that, of course, when it comes down to the everyday everyday American, again, we get the shaft. Because not only are we talking about we're going to be paying to bail our own selves out, but we're going to be paying to bail out these banks that made bad loans, that were ended, made all these loans that some of them, which I believe were illegal, or whatever, they misled the public. We're going to be doing that, we have to bail out Fannie Mae, also. When we look at this stuff again, it comes to the idea, how can these places be mismanaged so bad? The president of Fannie Mae, the chairman, whatever, he made $20 million last year, and he's going to make another $20 million this year. Why is he making $20 million? It's ridiculous. When you run an institution into the ground and you get paid $20 million to do it, I don't think so. I think that makes no sense, and I think it's bad management. But again, of course, what do I know? I mean, a lot of these head of these CEOs are, walking away from these companies, making with these multi-million-dollar packages, and you and me get the shaft, and we get fired, we get laid off, and then they raid your pensions and stuff, and you don't even have a dime for that. And they didn't even talk about a lot of these companies going into these guaranteed pensions for these people and raiding them and stuff, which they did, of course, under the Bush administration and stuff, and then not paying the money back. And what happens is, who picks up the ball again? A little organization within the federal government takes over these bankrupt funds, and then they try to distribute the money. And guess who makes up the difference? Me and you again. When you have the Supreme Court crying about what's going on with Exxon, and then limiting the amount of damages to the amount of money that was paid out. I think it was something like $500 million was paid out in terms of damages, and they say that they can't. I think the compensatory damages, I'm not sure what it was, but in terms of that, but the damages, the punitive damages, excuse me, can't exceed what they paid out for the cleanup. Okay, which I think is ridiculous. But obviously, we're worrying about an oil company that has posted, billions of dollars in profits or whatever about cleaning up something, you know, paying to clean up something and compensate the people that were injured in the Exxon Valdez case that happened 20 years ago. These corporations are making billions of dollars, and you have a Supreme Court Justice Scalia crying over them having to pay their fair share, and to compensate people that were put out of work because of the destroyed coastline from this oil spill, the cleanup and the damage to the ecosystem. But yeah, we're crying over Exxon. They just posted a $20-something billion profit.